Pearson Sharp. Ever feel like there are just certain things that you're not supposed to talk about? Subjects that are taboo and will get you banned for even mentioning them? Kind of like there's someone watching, waiting to pounce on you if you say the wrong thing? Well, there are, and there is, and it's called the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP doesn't want you asking questions, especially not about its economy, its global influence, or the growing control over the information you see online. I found that out firsthand. After I posted a video exposing cracks in China's economy, my comment section exploded, but not with thoughtful debate, with coordinated attacks, propaganda, and obnoxious copy-paste spam from fake accounts that were clearly there to discredit my video. These were people, or bots, who were trying to bury me. Now, I'm not really an expert on many things, maybe Vikings, but I do know a couple of things about China. And this attack is classic CCP, meaning I was dead on target. So I started researching this, and apparently this phenomenon is pretty common when you do anything critical of the Chinese government. And that gave me some inspiration. Maybe I could expose what foreign regimes are doing to influence our media, our schools, and even our politics, all with this fake online engagement. Because this isn't just about one country, and it's definitely not just about me. This is about how vulnerable we've all become to this kind of manipulation. Let's start where I started. YouTube. According to an investigation by the Epoch Times, foreign influence operations, especially from the Chinese regime, are focused hard on platforms like YouTube. They use networks of fake accounts to promote their videos, suppress criticism, and boost creators who parrot their messaging. For example, one CCP campaign was known as Spamiflage, and it featured AI-generated fake news anchors pushing anti-American narratives in a bunch of different languages. But these videos aren't coming from state news outlets, even though they look like it. They're disguised behind ordinary YouTubers from the US and Europe to make their narratives harder to detect. It's part of their broader doctrine of unrestricted warfare, where anything, including media manipulation, is weaponized against their rivals, like the United States. These operations usually don't show any connection to the Chinese government. YouTube has said that it's fully aware of this and is working with Google's threat intelligence group to remove over 20,000 channels just last year, all of them tied directly to Beijing. At the same time, any videos that are critical of China or things like Tibet, the virus origins, or forced labor gets buried by comment floods. And that's exactly what happened to me. My last video, which you can see here, basically dived into what's happening to China's economy and how the government is struggling to hold it all together while it all falls apart. I showed videos and pictures from when I lived there. I talked about things I saw, things that happened to me. And suddenly, out of the blue, the red bots descended en masse. Hundreds of comments attacking my video showed up overnight. Some of them were even in Mandarin. Most didn't have anything to do with the content in my video. They just followed a script attacking me personally, undermining my credibility. They even made fun of my hair, or lack thereof. They gushed about how amazing China is, how incredibly advanced it is and sophisticated and way more modern than the US, despite the fact that I personally saw actual peasants wandering the streets riding donkeys. I challenge you to find that anywhere in the United States. If someone is riding a donkey here, it's because they want to. Or you're in Kentucky. One guy in the comments told me I wasn't even there, that I'd clearly never even been to China. Another guy insisted that Chinese love Xi Jinping, and you can tell because they hang pictures of him in their restaurants. That was his argument. You know, kind of like people used to hang up pictures of Joseph Stalin. or Kim Jong-un because they love him and aren't terrified of disappearing at all. Others posted the same comments twice. See, it's like, come on, guys. Really? It felt like being attacked by Swifties, but for China. Chinese? We'll have to think of something for that. Anyway, it clicked pretty fast with what was happening, so I just sat back and watched the undiluted repression and hate flow in. It's kind of fascinating to watch a Chinese propaganda hit happen in real time. Having people tell you the thing that you saw with your own eyes didn't really happen. I mean, I had students of mine tell me that their parents disappeared after speaking out against the government. One student, this very sweet girl, said that her dad wrote a letter complaining about his taxes. He was arrested and spent 10 years in jail. I know the IRS is bad, but I don't think we've quite gotten to that point yet. The other incredible part was that no one, not a single person, brought up any facts to back up what they were saying or tried to refute anything I said in the video. It was all generic, "China is awesome, you suck" kind of comments, which also makes it pretty clear who's behind it. So I wanted to make this video and kind of shine some light on what's happening. But you have to understand, it's not just happening on YouTube. There was another report, and I link all of my sources in the video description, that tracked over 100 CCP-run websites posing as local news outlets in over 30 countries. Their only job is to publish stories that promote China's goals, actively targeting US policy. And it looks like real news. If you weren't paying attention, you would never know. That's dangerous. They've even infiltrated classrooms here in the US. Over 500 public schools here in America host Confucius classroom programs, which on the surface appear to just be language instruction and cultural outreach. In fact, these schools don't even know where the funding for these programs comes from. Underneath, it's all CCP-approved content, reaching kids in elementary school, using taxpayer-funded classrooms to rewrite history and normalize censorship. Imagine letting a foreign authoritarian regime design your child's lesson plan. Almost like letting a domestic authoritarian regime design your child's lesson plan. But I digress. A congressional hearing found that a lot of times these programs operate near military bases. In some cases, the lessons completely left out Taiwan or flat out lied about major historical events. Now, how do you think that's going to play out down the road when kids brainwashed to see China as a glowing utopia grow up and take charge? So why go to all this trouble? It's simple. The product they're selling doesn't sell itself. China's system, the tightly controlled authoritarian state, isn't admired. It's feared. And when your model isn't attractive, you have to make it look better than it is. Because let's be honest, no one wants to be like China. No one. It's not a popular model. The Chinese model is very unappealing. Seriously, what countries anywhere do you see trying to be more like China? Literally no one. Compare that to the US. Everyone wants to be like the United States. Everyone. America is the de facto model for what a country should be like and what everyone wants to be like. Our culture is our greatest strength. Think about all the movies and shows and books and clothes and music and food and ideas that we've exported all over the world. Everyone everywhere models themselves after the US, if they have a choice. Rammstein even made a video, "We're all living in America." You'll notice the song wasn't called "We're all living in communist China." My point with all of this is that if you have a product that people want, you don't have to force them to buy it. That's America. How many people do you see sneaking over the border to come live here? Now, how many people do you see sneaking over the border to live in China? Given the choice, no one wants communism. And that's why it's failing. That's why it's collapsing. The latest reports show China is facing tens of thousands of worker protests across more than 20 provinces. That's real. That's factual for everyone in the comments saying that things are just peachy in China. People haven't been paid for months. There are mass layoffs. People setting factories on fire, employers that just close up shop overnight and disappear. The best estimates show that China's lost millions of jobs already, and they're set to lose millions more, possibly 10 to 15 million or more. One example, employees at Neta Auto said they've only gotten half their pay since September. In Shandong, workers actually stormed the government offices. So go ahead, comment section, tell me how those aren't really happening right now. China's economic success is built on debt, overbuilding, and manipulated data. And when Trump's tariffs hit, it exposed how vulnerable that structure really was. Just to be clear, this isn't about attacking another country. This is about protecting ours. Whether the manipulation comes from Beijing or Moscow or anywhere else, the goal should be transparency, accountability, and defending our speech, our schools, and our sovereignty. So here's the bigger picture. Foreign regimes are trying to shape what we say, what we see, and what we believe. They're targeting YouTube, schools, government, and even our own conversations. And if they're willing to flood my channel with bots and try and shut me up for asking questions, what are they doing to silence you? What stories have they already rewritten? And how many of your beliefs today have they already engineered? How much power do they already have over your life? How would you even know? And what can you do about it? I don't have the answers, but unless we can even ask the questions, then we've already lost. That's my take. What do you think? Is China taking over the world? Is the Silk Road soon to be the only road? Let me know in the comments below, and believe me, I can't wait to read them. Also, if you like this video and learned something, share it far and wide. Let's stop the Great Wall from getting any bigger. Until next time, stay free, stay sharp, and go with God.